Hi everyone, my name is Dillon Waschenbach. I am the Undergraduate Career Coach here in Business Career Services in the Walker College of Business at Appalachian State University. And to conclude our salary negotiation series, I wanted to talk about some do's and don'ts to think about as you are preparing for a salary negotiation or are in the process of negotiating your salary. To start out, we're going to cover some of the things you should not do in a salary negotiation. The first being, don't just say, I need more money. While maybe that is the background of why you are negotiating your salary, it's not an argument that's going to help you gain more money. Your argument should be based on data and research showing why the amount that was offered maybe isn't similar to other roles at other organizations in your area, or isn't up to par with kind of the industry standard in that space, especially based on your skills and experiences. You also should avoid saying, well, I can't afford my expenses with this salary, or something along those lines, because this can also show, one, that you have bad judgment, especially if you're applying and interviewing for a finance role, and it can really leave a bad impression on that hiring manager or supervisor's mind. So again, the problem with these two statements is they're not necessarily based on data and research. They're based on kind of your current situation, which isn't necessarily going to help you in a salary negotiation. Another thing that you should avoid is voluntarily discussing how much you made in a previous role. Your current goal when you are in a salary negotiation is to get as much as you can with your current skills and experiences, not necessarily what you were paid in a previous job, especially if that job paid you significantly less. If you were paid less and you explain that to your potentially new supervisor or hiring manager, that might give them the opportunity to pay you less because that's what you expect or that's what you think is correct. That's not necessarily the case. So if you are asked to discuss how much you were previously making, you should try to redirect that question a little bit and ask about the budget of the role and discuss some of your current salary research. At the end of the day, there might not be a way around it. You might have to discuss that information anyways, but take the steps that you can to gather as much information about this current role that you're applying and interviewing for, and bringing in some of that salary research so that you can kind of redirect them though. Even though you made less, you expect to make this much based on what's the current trend in the field. Physically, you should avoid having poor posture or using too little or even too much eye contact, and try to be as confident as possible in that space. So when you give off the impression that you're nervous or anxious about the negotiation, it shows that you're not necessarily believing what you're saying possibly, or even possibly lying, where that might not be the case at all. So when you are explaining why you deserve more money or pitching that argument, make sure that you're saying it with a level of confidence that shows that employer that you deserve what you're getting. And finally, don't accept the offer at the first opportunity. A lot of times when you're offered a job, you're going to be given a call and they're going to ask you if you still want the role, that you have the role, whatever it may be. And it can be really difficult to not accept the offer, especially if it's a role that you're really interested in. So try to avoid accepting it at the first step, and do thank them for that offer and be enthusiastic, but also asking for the offer in writing so that you can review that offer later and make an informed decision for yourself. This is going to give you a little bit of extra time to understand what's being given here. It's going to give you an opportunity to review the whole compensation package, and then gives you some extra time to build that argument to negotiate your salary higher. Most times, the worst thing that can happen in a salary negotiation is that it's not able to be negotiated, and if that's the case, and you were still going to take the job anyways, you didn't necessarily lose anything. But if you do try to negotiate and you do gain more, you've benefited greatly. So it never hurts to start that process and try even a little bit to negotiate, because you might end up with more money than you initially thought. Additionally, when you're doing that preparation, you want to research similar roles and salaries that are associated with the job that you're interviewing or have been offered. And you can use things like salary.com, LinkedIn, Glassdoor. All of these areas are good places to start to get some basic information about salary. You should also base your negotiation on data and research and really discuss why you deserve the money that you're asking for. Talk about your skills, talk about your experiences, talk about other companies in the area that have similar roles that are paying more for them. That's all fair game when you're in a salary negotiation, and those are going to come off as more confident and professional than just saying things like, I need more money, like we talked about previously. You should also decide on your floor, meaning that that's the lowest amount of money that you're willing to take. For roles that you are super interested in and really excited about, sometimes they don't always pay exactly what you're looking for. So you need to be prepared for that and understand exactly what you're getting yourself into before you start accepting a job offer. So if you do your budgeting and you figure out what you're going to need to live in the area that you're going to be living in, and the current role that you were offered isn't going to cover those expenses, you can start your negotiation there, and build off of that to get to a place where you can. But if you're not going to be able to cover your expenses, it might not be the best place for you to start. So decide on that floor so you've got a jumping off point. You can kind of make decisions from there. And finally, you should always consider the total package when you're making your decision between salary and benefits to the ability for advancement and growth. Because you might start off in a really great place that you're interested in, but you can only grow so far in that role. That might be a deterrent. If you're applying for a job that has a lot of growth later, maybe the starting salary is a little bit lower, but you're going to grow with that and gain further promotions and experience. So that can kind of offset some of that money that maybe you're missing out on right now, you'll gain later. These are all things to kind of keep in mind as you're thinking about salary negotiation, thinking about accepting an offer. If you have further questions about salary negotiation, check out the rest of our salary negotiation series. And always feel free to reach out to me in Business Career Services, and we can discuss what's going on with your current offer situation. Thank you.